Welcome to build day 33. Kaylee and I just got done parking the truck, and it's about 10:30 in the morning, almost 11, I think. Got in here yesterday, got the pirate finished, or so I thought. I forgot one thing. We've got to get the swords into the box there. That's quick and easy. All I gotta do is take loose the little 2-foot section of fence and slide in and do that. And we'll do that a little bit closer to opening anyway. Today, it's witch. We went and we got the Three Sisters hooked up to the Scooby-Boo board, and it is actually working. So that's done. And then we got lights installed up there and working. And we got that picture, and the spots along there working. Now, none of them are aimed. I did try to get that aimed last night and found I mounted them in the wrong direction. Okay. So I need to get in and redo those up there, which is about a 10-minute job. Won't take long, and then hook them back up to power, which will be easy because the power line's already hooked up. But after that's done, we've got to get the rest of the lighting done. I've got 2 lights here for the fan, or actually 3 lights. 2 of them are for the fan, 1 of them is to go down to the candelabra. And I've got 2 lights here that do the witch. That takes care of all my aerial stuff. Then I've got to get in here, I've got to get the fireplace hooked up, because there's red LED lights on the fireplace. And I've also got to get the 3 skulls in the chest lit up. And then I've got a couple of lights here, 2 of which light up the stove, and 1 lights up the cauldron over on the fireplace. So we've got to get those done up. I don't see that taking all day. Couple of hours, 3 hours maybe at the tops. Our next big mess though is in here. We got in here last night and I got the lights up along the back. I need to go through and clean up my wiring, but the lights are all aimed on that head, the 2 candelabras, and that head. There is no other lighting in here at all. We got to get lighting in here. We got to get the table back into place. We've got to get it hooked up and going. You know, so a lot of work in here. We'll get started on the gypsy today. I doubt very, very highly if we'll have a finish today. At least we'll get a good, healthy start on it. At least that's the plan. Breakfast of the day: peanut butter and jelly on toast. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich on toast. Toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There you go. Okay, nighttime walkthrough. Wanted to show you the witch. And this is where they enter. They come around. And where the gypsy is there through that doorway, there'll be a curtain. Let's see if we can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Now, come on, Kaylee just tripped it just a second ago. But anyway, candelabra. Fireplace is always a blur of red. And you can see the plates and stuff up there. I might get in and mess with that sensor a little bit here. I don't know. Before I seal it up. But Sue-Ann's giving her stamp of approval. In here in the gypsy, I've been working on all the aerial stuff. And there's a lot of lights in here. Just on that bar alone, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 lights. Just on that bar. Now see, Sue-Ann and Kaylee just walked through and they tripped it. I think I have the timer set too long on it. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 lights on that bar, and another 5 lights on that bar. Plus all the lights on the head. Each head has 2. Those 2 candelabras over there in the corner each have 1. And then the 3-packs of the candelabras each have 2. Well, that's a lot of lights, just aerial. It took me a while to get them all in, get them all wired up. And we've got that working. Now I still have 3 skulls, a candle, another big skull in the back there, and a tri-pack of skulls in that corner. Plus I have 2 skulls on that, and the scrying bowl I've got to finish wiring up yet. And I've got the head down there that has 2 LEDs in there that need to be wired up. But right now, I need to get in underneath that table, which is going to be fun. And I've got the control board to put in for the cups to make them bounce up and down, and to trigger the Ouija board back there. I think I'm going to do that next. And then we'll start wiring up everything else. And then maybe tomorrow night I'll give you a look at this again with everything working and with the hay and fencing and stuff in. Welcome to your end of the day wrap up. I didn't make it much further after shooting the night footage. Was able to get in underneath the table. Got the airline hooked up for the cups. Got power to the board. And got the Ouija board up on top of the table hooked into it, and it's working just fine. Ran into a problem with the cups. There's 2 ways of firing the switch on that. One is with electricity, and you hook it up to the board, and the board trips it and causes the cups to go up and down. The other one is a manual switch on the solenoid itself, a little button. You push and hold that in, and the pneumatic cylinder fires and the cups go up in the air. You release it and the cups come down. The manual switch working just fine. The electric switch, not at all. Dead as a doornail. Cups wouldn't move. So I ended up having to pull the electric switch, or the solenoid, and took the electric component off of it, and it was one of my old solenoid switches, and it was corroded. So I ended up having to go in the shop and put together a new one, and that's about as far as I got. If I crawl back underneath that table and put it in, I'm going to get the board finished too while I'm down there, because it's a pain in the ass with the way that this place set up this year to get in and out from underneath of it on that side. So I'm just going to call it quits on that. Also on the table we had one failure. Down below on the base for the table there's a cabinet component, and we put a head in there, and I put a reindeer motor in it to open and close the door, you know, so people will see the head, and we got some lights in there and stuff. I was noticing the door was not opening and closing. It was staying wide open. So when I got down to look at the board, I got in there and looked at that too, and what had happened is I mounted a reindeer motor on the bottom of the base, sticking up into the cabinet, and there's a fitting there held on by a Carter pin. And as the reindeer motor turns, it pushes an arm which opens and closes the door. Well, that fitting came off. Apparently the Carter pin that I used failed. And it was a homemade Carter pin. I'll admit to that right now. So what I need to do is take the motor off, reattach the fitting with the proper Carter pin, and go from there. You know, put it back in, you know, and the door will work. The problem is in order to get the reindeer motor out so I can do that, I have to take everything off the top of the table, take the tabletop off, turn the base on its side, remove the motor, do the fix, put it back in, stand the base up, put the tabletop back on, and put everything back out onto the table. Major pain in the ass. I'm not doing it. So what we're going to do is just leave the door wide open so people can see the head with the 2 lights, you know, brightening it up. I think it's 2 green LED spots is what we have in there, or they could be blue, I can't remember which, but you know, so they'll be able to see the head, just the door won't be opening and closing. So, you know, that's our failure. As of tomorrow, I've got to get in there, finish, get the new solenoid switch put in, finish hooking the board up, you know, getting the cups working. Then I've got a bunch of skulls, lighted skulls in there I need to get wired up, and the scrying bowl. And after that, gypsy's done. Now, so it will totally be done tomorrow. I can get the hay in, get the fence in, and be totally done with it. Should not take all day. In fact, it better not take all day, or there's something wrong. Then we're going to move in here into the courtyard, which could be an hour or two's worth of work. I've got a light on the ghost to put in. I've got 2 lights on Bart the butler to put in. I've got to get that door, which goes in here, in. I've got to get the screening material in. And I also have some wire runs. In fact, you can probably see there on the trim all the wires hanging down. Some of them go down that wall. Some of them wrap around, go down this wall. I've got to go through and get all that cleaned up, things water protected, what have you. And I got to get the stand and cover in for the projector that shines on that, on what will be that screen. And I got to get the 2 screens in. And then the courtyard will be totally done. So I'm hoping to finish graveyard and courtyard tomorrow. And then Tuesday, get over and get started on the graveyard. And the graveyard's more than likely going to be a 2-day project. That mausoleum takes a while to wire up with the lights on the inside, and I've got 2 control boards in there I've got to get hooked up, one for the air blasters and one for the tombstones. No, I've got 3 boards in there actually. So I've got to get all that stuff wired up, plus lighting. So it's going to take a while to get graveyard done. It's definitely going to take it's definitely a 2-day project. Thing is we are getting close. If I can get graveyard and courtyard done tomorrow, we'll have the graveyard, chain hallway, water room, and clown. 4 displays to do. So we are getting there. I'm hoping by the end of the week to have all the displays pretty much finished. Then we can get into stage 5. And I don't know if I'll vlog that or not. Stage 5 is putting the curtains in, the projectors in, the stereos, the stereo speakers, bubblers, foggers, you know, that sort of thing. I normally don't film that, so I don't know if I will or not. But we are getting there, folks. Stay spooky, stay toxic.